Ano mga alam niyong sign language? Alam mo na mga sign language?
Jade!
Ay, ako na malaan. Ano? Ano alam mo na mga sign language? Ito.
I love you daw meaning na to.
Alam mo na sign language?
As of 2020, around 1.7 million Filipinos had hearing difficulties, yet many schools remain unequipped for inclusive education. Deaf students are often expected to adapt to hearing environments without proper support. A major issue is the lack of trained sign language interpreters and teachers, along with learning materials that aren't accessible. This, combined with low awareness of deaf culture, leads to exclusion and discrimination in schools. Sustainable Development Goal 4, or Quality Education, commits to ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. Inspired by this, an advocacy was developed to extend inclusivity to our deaf community so their disability doesn't hinder their right to experience a quality life. Hence, I introduce Hands That Speak, Sign Language Education for Inclusive Learning. What will be the objectives of this advocacy? First is to promote sign language as an important and culture-rich way to communicate. Encourage more hearing people to learn sign language across different sectors. Create more inclusive and accessible spaces for the deaf and hard of hearing. Include sign language in schools and job training to make it a common skill. And lastly, make sign language part of daily life to help deaf people engage more confidently. Who will be the beneficiaries? Of course, the deaf and hard of hearing individuals. Another is the hearing individuals, educational institution and workplaces, and the overall society. This advocacy will include various programs. First is to launch an annual Sign Language Week in schools, featuring activities and events that promote sign language awareness and learning, especially among children and youth. Next is to partner with local governments to conduct regular sign language workshops and deaf awareness seminars at the barangay level. Support the creation and distribution of deaf-friendly educational materials, including sign-supported textbooks and tactile resources such as Braille for students with multiple disabilities. The program will also include increasing the frequency and accessibility of sign language training programs to develop a larger pool of qualified interpreters nationwide. This program will also encourage businesses and establishments to employ at least one staff member trained in sign language to improve service accessibility for the deaf community. Lastly is to launch an online information drive to raise public awareness about deaf culture, rights, and the importance of inclusive communication. Hands That Speak will not be working alone. Here are the target participating bodies for the programs: Deaf Ed DAP Training and Development Center, Philippine Association of Interpreters for Deaf Empowerment, or PAID, Philippine Deaf Sign Language Association, or PDSL Association, Department of Education, Department of Social Welfare and Development, and lastly, the local government. It is the aim of the advocacy to achieve all its objectives and to implement its program within 2 years. For the first 3 months, committees for each program will be formed and communication to target partners shall commence. The next months will focus on pilot implementation and refinement. At this time, schools may start their implementation for the Sign Language Week, execution of barangay-level seminars, launching of online digital campaigns, and commencing the development of aid materials. By the end of the first year, it is expected that the team will have published an initial set of deaf-friendly materials. The second year will prioritize the expansion of the programs. More schools and establishments shall adapt the activities laid upon by the committees. There will also be a collection of feedback and sentiments in order to fix some unforeseen issues. Once these are addressed, hopefully the team could finalize their sustainability plan and involve the government in developing policies related to the programs. As we move through this journey, building programs, forming partnerships, and creating inclusive spaces, we're not just ticking boxes, we're making lasting change. Because it all starts with a hand, a gesture, a sign, a step toward understanding. Hands That Speak isn't just an advocacy, it is a movement for inclusion, for equality, and for connection. Together, let's build a world where every voice is heard, even the ones that speak in silence.